I thought it was an embarrassment for the Republican Party. They've taken a lot of shots scored, but there was precious little vision, almost no discussion, serious discussion of issues or, what are you going to do? How are you going to improve people's lives? And if you saw someone acting presidentially on that stage, you got better eyesight, Bill, than I do.
That was Chris Wallace on with Fox News talking about the presidential debate, somehow trying to explain this all to us. Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst, the best in the business. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, McGraw.
Crazy weekend. First, let's start with this Ku Klux Klan debate going on with Donald Trump. He disavows on Friday in a curt statement in a news conference, and then by Sunday, he has no idea who David Duke or the Ku Klux Klan is.
Well, look, let's be honest here. There has always been, there's always been an element in Donald Trump's campaign of racism, an appeal to racist feelings. When he called Mexicans rapists, that was very much a part of what he was doing. And there is a small but significant element of his support that holds white supremacist ideas, and he just doesn't want to disavow Duke and doesn't want to get those people angry. And we have to be honest about that. And and that's a fact. That's not an opinion. And Trump is playing to lots of different kinds of anger, and that's only one of them. But it's very much a part of who he is.
You see the senator from Nebraska come out, who is Tea Party endorsed, says he can't vote for Donald Trump. You have Meg Whitman criticizing Chris Christie for embracing Trump, and Chris Christie getting a lot of grief. So where are we in terms of this Republican Party? It seems from the sidelines that it's ripping apart at the seams.
I agree, and I think the whole Chris Christie episode really crystallizes this whole split in Republican ranks. Look, Christie is not going to be alone when he says, look, I don't like Trump. At one point, Christie, of course, said Trump did not have the temperament to be president. But, as he said in his announcement, Trump's going to be better than Hillary Clinton, and he's the only one who can stop Hillary Clinton, and therefore I'm going to fall in line. And there will be plenty of Republicans, McGraw, who will follow that lead. But there will also be plenty of Republicans, as you point out quite rightly, will agree with Meg Whitman, his finance chairman, who said that what Christie did was an astonishing display of political opportunism. This is his own finance chairman. This is not a Democrat. And said that Trump was a dishonest demagogue who would take America on a dangerous journey. There you have the split in Republican ranks. You have a certain number who will line up behind Trump, and you have a growing number who will say, I can never go down that road. And that split in Republican ranks is going to be very damaging, in part because there's no comparable split in Democratic ranks. There are a lot of Sanders people who don't like Hillary, but there's no one calling her a dishonest demagogue. And the fallout, if and when Hillary Clinton wins the nomination, I don't think there'll be a single Democrat announcing, I can't possibly vote for Hillary Clinton, whereas you're going to have a large number of Republicans saying that about Trump.
So what happens going forward? I mean, are we seeing a third-party candidate? Are we seeing the party literally break in two? Are we seeing a faction join the Democrats? What? Look into your crystal ball, Stephen Roberts.
I don't think you'll see a third party, but I do think you'll see plenty of Republicans, not only who won't vote for Trump, but there was a very interesting story in the New York Times over the weekend, quoting Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, who said they already have plans to save the Republican majority in the Senate and have Republican senators disavow Trump, even run anti-Trump ads by saying, you've got to elect Republicans to the Senate to balance out a President Hillary Clinton. We saw that in 1996 when Bill Clinton was cruising to re-election. And Republicans basically, they didn't hate Bob Dole in the same way they hate Donald Trump, but they realized he was going to lose. And a lot of Republicans, by the time the fall rolled around, were saying, okay, if you want to reelect Bill Clinton, you've got to elect a Republican House and Senate to balance him out. And so that's what I think you're going to see. You're going to start to see a lot of Republicans turning their attention to congressional races as a way of preserving an outpost of power for the Republican Party during the time when Hillary Clinton's in the White House.
Does Trump walk this back? Because his strength is never walking anything back and sort of doubling down on all of his crazy comments. What does he do here?
I think he doubles down. I mean, I think that he did sort of, after all of this pressure in terms of the David Duke thing, he did finally send out a tweet saying, okay, I disavow him. But, Trump is Trump, and Trump has profited from the fact that a lot of people do agree with his raw emotions and the elements of racism that they contain, and the elements of anger that they contain, and the elements of stick your finger in the eye of the establishment that they contain. And he is not going to back down, because that would be totally out of character. But I think what you're going to start to see, as I say, a split developing. You saw this morning in another good example of this, George Will, a columnist who has despised Donald Trump for a long time, basically writing a column saying any Republican politician who lines up with Donald Trump is going to be defacing their own reputation, and that no sincere Republican, no sincere conservative, no one who believes in the reasonable process of governing can possibly be for Donald Trump. So you're going to start to see people choosing sides.
Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst, the best in the business. Have a good week. Thanks, Stephen.
Okay, my friend.
6:20.